Good evening, friends. Welcome to my channel, The Vibepreneur, where we do vibe coding and automation workshops. So today we are going to do our next automation workshop, where we are actually building an N8N workflow. And over my past few automation workshops, I've already started building an N8N workflow, and that I'm telling from the beginner level, telling everything in very basic, telling everything step by step. So first, we started with a chat triggered Gemini AI agent, right? So using a chat, we were able to trigger a workflow which was passing that chat message to a Gemini model, and then Gemini was responding to that chat message. Then we replaced that chat message trigger with a form trigger, and the Gemini response and the form data we were storing inside the Google Sheets. So today we are going to pick up the same workflow and we are going to extend it. And today we are going to integrate WhatsApp in that workflow. So let me start sharing my screen and we'll start building on that workflow. Before that, I have a request. If you have any questions, doubts, thoughts, anything you want to chat about, you can drop it on our YouTube chat, because it is a live stream. We are connected live. So I will try to respond to your chats. Okay, so let's get started with today's automation workshop. So as you can see, this is our N8N browser window, and I'm going to again open this Gemini Flash workflow. So this is the same workflow which we have been working over past few sessions, and I'm just going to continue over the same. But before that, let's test it once. So I'm going to click on this execute workflow, and we will just test this workflow once if everything is working fine. So as soon as I clicked on this execute workflow button, my this form has appeared, right? Because it's a form trigger, so it is showing us this form UI, and within this form UI, I'm going to enter my name, right, an email address, and then a message which will be passed to Gemini for responding. Hi, how are you doing today? Or let's make it a little different. How are you doing this morning? Okay. Then we're going to click on submit. We'll receive a success response. We'll close the form, and our workflow is triggered. It is actually happening, right? All the nodes are getting triggered. All the nodes that are in green, that means they have been successfully triggered, and we have finally reached our Google Sheets, and finally our entire workflow has finished. So based on this, it is being saved in the Google Sheet. Let me do one thing, and let me directly open the Google Sheet where the this thing has saved. So this is my today's entry which I've just entered, right? Full name Vibepreneur, email was vatsal@vibepreneur.com. Hi, how are you doing this morning? And Gemini has responded, which we have also recorded. Good morning, I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. Ready to help you with whatever you need. How about you? I hope you are having a great morning too. Okay, so this is the response we have got from Gemini, and that is also stored in our Google Sheet. So basically it was a basic test of our existing workflow, which is working flawlessly, right? Now today I have some idea of extending this workflow, because if you remember last time while closing this workshop, I was mentioning that to trigger this workflow, nobody need to come on this N8N app, right? And so you can always just go to your Google Sheets document and see if it has got updated or not. But the question arises, how frequently should you keep checking for Google Sheets, right? If let's say you have shared this form link with a large community where there are like hundred or thousands of people, and they have like some 1 month of time to submit that form, then it will not be a feasible option to keep checking this form regularly every day. One thing is, maybe you can check it only after the entire time is over, and then after the end you may check. But if you have like 100 or 1000 entries and you have to process them manually all at once after the end, like end period, it is going to be a difficult thing to handle, right? So instead, the better option is that if we can get some sort of a notification every time the form is filled, right? So today, for notification, we are going to use WhatsApp, right? We are going to integrate a WhatsApp based notification. So I hope to receive a WhatsApp notification in my phone. Okay, so let's start building it. So the WhatsApp trigger, the WhatsApp notification I want to receive only after the data is saved in the Google Sheet. So that means this is the place, right? This is the place where we should add our WhatsApp notification. So I'm going to click on this plus sign here, right? And it is going to show us a bunch of options that we can add our app to. So we're going to choose action in an app. I'm going to click it. Then either we can scroll down or we can just simply search for WhatsApp. Okay, so WhatsApp Business Cloud. And we're gonna receive, we're gonna select send message. Okay, and again, like before, I'm not gonna overwhelm you and I'll just close it. But what we see now here is that our WhatsApp node is attached just after this Google Sheet node. Okay, now one thing is, if you remember, I had shown you a way through which you don't need to run your entire workflow if you are testing some node or something. So for that, we use this pin data, right? So I'm going to do the same thing again here. So I'm going to keep this data pinned in this node. So anytime I trigger WhatsApp execution, I trigger WhatsApp node, I will always have some input here, right? So this input, this has got pinned in my previous node. So I don't need to worry about that. Okay, entire workflow has to trigger, then only I will have an input to go to my WhatsApp trigger. Okay, so far so good. And again, I'm closing it. So this is our WhatsApp node added. Now, of course, we're gonna need to add some configuration within this node for actually making it work. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna click on double click on the WhatsApp node, and it has launched it, right? So the very first thing, if you're working with an app, right, inside N8N, if the very first time you are trying to add any app, so you should always make sure you have the correct credentials for it, right? So if you click on the drop down, you see there are no credentials I have pre-existing, right? So there is an option to create new credential. And by the way, just looking at it, you can see there are these 4 exclamation signs, and what that tells is that these are mandatory fields for this node to function. If these fields are not populated, then the node will not work. Okay, so let's start from the first one, which is of course credential. So I'm going to click on the drop down and click on create new credential. Okay, now we see it asks for 2 things. One is access token and one is business account ID, right? So let me show you how you can get it, right? So for that, we are going to go to our developer.facebook.com, right? Not Facebook, developer.facebook.com. And I hope I'm logged in. Yes, I am. Okay. So I've been building these. Okay, what I'm doing. Okay. So basically, within this developer.facebook.com, right? It's a developer platform within the Facebook where you can create apps, right? But these apps by themselves does not do anything. These apps are used to build a connection between your backend and to Facebook. Okay, so we have so we can create like apps here. So if you want to create a new app, although I have created an app, but I'll just show you the workflow how to create an app, right? So you can click on this green create app button, Okay, so if I'll click this green create app button, it's gonna launch this kind of a this multi-step form. Okay, so first thing is app detail, where it will ask what is the name of app, right? So let's say I call it test app. Okay, and then I click on next. Then it's gonna ask me what's going to be use cases of your app, right? So I'm gonna just click on other and move to next. Okay, there are a bunch of options that we can do here, but I'm just gonna choose other and move to next, right? And then what is your app type? So let's call it business, right? Because this WhatsApp integration that we are trying to do, that is only available under the business apps, not the consumer apps. Okay, so we'll select the business in this case and we'll click on next. And after that, we have all these everything filled up. If we click on create app, our app will actually get created. Okay, now I have brought you till this screen, filled all the required information which was supposed to be filled, right? When you are going ahead, you have to click on this green create app button so that your app will be created. But I have already created an app, so I'm going to reuse my app. So let me go to my apps again. So I have this one WBA test app which I created a few days back. Okay, so I'm gonna open this app, and I have this app that I can work with now. Okay, once you create your app will also get listed in this kind of a UI, right? I have bunch of them because I created many, but if you have created just one, so you'll just have one of your app listed here. What you have to do, you just have to click on that that app title, right? And then you will land to your app dashboard. Okay, I hope so far so good. If you have not understood anything till now, if you have any question, any doubt, you can always use our chat, right? When you ask any question over the chat, I'll try to respond to this. By the way, we have a dedicated Q&A session just going to start in next 46 minutes. So I will try to respond to your questions in that Q&A session. Okay. So we have the dashboard of our app here, right? Now let's go to app settings and go to basic. Okay. Here we have our app ID, right? Let's see if it requires our app ID. No, it does not. It requires actually our access token. So we'll ignore it. Then we'll go to advanced. Okay. Before you do anything, so within the products here, right, you have to click on add product to add WhatsApp as your product. Okay, if you click on this add product, so I have few things added here like webhook and WhatsApp, but you might not have that, right? So you have to click on add product, and for some reason, yeah, these are the product, right? So if you scroll down, you're gonna see WhatsApp here. Okay, in this list you will also have WhatsApp as the option to add. Since I have already added the WhatsApp product within my Facebook app, this developer app, so I don't need to add it again. It is already listed under here, right? So because you will if you have just created your app, you will not have any product added to you, right? So you have to click on add product, and these are the list of products from which you have to select WhatsApp and add it. Okay, so this is the WhatsApp, and if I go to quick start, so after the WhatsApp is added, it will appear on your left sidebar as well, like this. And if I click on quick start, I can come here, right? So here is this sort of a workflow which we can follow from here, right? So there is this welcome to WhatsApp business platform, and it helps you with API setup. So we're gonna click on this, start using the API. Okay, then it takes us to the next screen, and in the next screen we need this access token, right? Click on generate access token. So we'll click on this generate access token, and it's gonna ask me to log in with my Facebook. Okay, so this is a temporary access token which got created that I can copy from here, right? And this is the access token that is needed in our N8N credential, right? So I'm gonna paste this access token here. Okay, now it needs business account ID. So let's see where we can get the business account ID. So you see this one, if you scroll just a little bit, right, there is a send and receive messages. Okay, here in the from number, in the step 1 where it says select phone numbers, in the from there is phone number ID and there is a WhatsApp business account ID, right? So this is this WhatsApp business account ID that you need to copy. Okay, once you copy it, you can paste that also in your this credential, N8N credential, right? And you can click on save. Okay, so it says my credential is successfully added. So earlier, if you remember, there was no WhatsApp credential added here, but now since there is a credential, so in this drop down there is this one credential there which I can select and click. Okay, then we'll leave resource and operation as it is, because we want to send a message, right? So operation is send, resource is message. Then it's asking us to select a phone number, right? This is the phone number with which you will send it, right? Now if you have not added this phone number, so you have to add it here, right? Here you have this option, add phone number. Okay, from, you know, this from option, here you can click on add phone number. Then it will it can also provide you one test number, or you can also add some of your own phone number, but make sure you do not have already a WhatsApp working for that number, right? If you already have a WhatsApp account from that number, then you will not be able to use that number here, right? So you have to add a number which does not have already a WhatsApp account with it. Okay, so generally, let's say you have a business, of selling cupcakes, right? Or you have a business of selling some clothes, right? Some lady sarees and something like that, right? So of course, if you are managing your business through that WhatsApp, if you are doing already marketing of your of your business through some WhatsApp number, right? So generally that's that WhatsApp business, right? That is the number which you need to add here, so that when any message will be sent to the recipients, okay, so that will be sent via your business number. Okay, so after you added your WhatsApp number, right, we come here, and if we click on this drop down, we will also see our number which is already added from there. So if your question is, okay, when I click this drop down, there is this number coming, where is this number coming from? So that's what I explained to you just now. Your number is actually coming from these numbers, these from numbers that are available for you to use from within the WhatsApp business account. Okay, I hope so far you are understanding the flow. But if you still have any questions, doubts, anything, you can use our chat window, ask me any questions, and I'll try to respond it. And just to remind you, our Q&A is going to start just after 39 minutes. So whatever questions are there, I would try to pick them up within that dedicated Q&A session. All right. Okay, moving ahead. So I'll select this my business number here, right? And then I can enter recipient phone number, which can be any number, any number in the world you can enter. But you have to make sure about one thing. See, once you create your app, right, it will be in development mode, right? So on top you see this app mode option, right? This app mode, this toggle. By default, your app will be in development mode, right? So while it is in development mode, any number that you are trying to send, right, any number that you want to use to send a message, you have to add to a phone number list. Okay, basically you have to validate or verify that the phone number that you are using, right, somehow you have some permission to send WhatsApp message to that phone number. Otherwise, you can imagine if Facebook will allow just within the development mode for anyone, for any business to send WhatsApp message to any number at random, then it can cause a major spam, right? So to avoid these kind of spams, Facebook has restricted that during the development mode you have to first add few numbers that you would also verify. They will send you a verification code which you'll receive, and then you will verify that these you have some access or permission to use these number for testing for WhatsApp. Okay, so please make sure that okay, if you try to enter any random number here, it will not work. That number has to be already available within this list of numbers that are pre-validated. So I'm gonna use one of the number, which is this one here. Okay, so I'll quickly enter, right? So I have entered this number. Okay, message type text. Now the thing is text body, right? Now this is the fun part, because this text body is your actual message that the user will receive in their WhatsApp. Okay, so so what do we enter, right? Now for our case, we can actually leave it pretty simple. Okay, because we just want to receive like a notification, so we can enter it as okay, somebody has someone has, or some very generic message like added one more row to your Google Sheet, right? But you see, it's not very helpful. Maybe we can enrich this message with a little bit of more information that helps someone to process that information well, right? So for that, what I'm thinking is I'm going to mix up this full name within this message, right? So I'll drop this full name, okay, which picks up this full name, which is the Vipreneur here, right? The Vipreneur. And of course, it is just a variable part, so I'm not gonna use just the variable part, right? So I'm gonna add some more message after it, right? So full name has submitted his so if you remember, the form, the title of our form was Talk to Gemini, right? So we're gonna enter it as has submitted, full name, the Vipreneur has submitted his question for Gemini. Okay, and we can also add that question here, right? So the Vipreneur has submitted his question for Gemini, and this is the question. Okay, so this is the kind of a message that from this WhatsApp trigger somebody will receive, right? So now you see all those red markers, those red alert marks have gone now. That means this node is perfectly fine to start using it. Okay, and I will also show you, if you remember outside also, this had some exclamation mark here, red exclamation mark. That means the node is not functional yet. So that means but since we have added all the details, so this node is ready to be used now. So let's do one thing, and let's click on execute step. Okay, and let's see what happens. Okay, so you see, it's a good thing that I got this error, because you have to understand this error well, and this is exactly the error that I was just explaining you about. See, the error says recipient phone number not in allowed list, right? So you see, you cannot send a message from WhatsApp to any random number at your will, right? And it is to stop a mass spam, right? So what it is complaining is the number that you have used is not available in your allowed list. But the thing is, I know I have this number here. So what is the problem? The problem is this country code. Okay, it is not able to match with the country code because I missed to enter that country code. Now if I add that country code, plus 919353674232, right? With this number added with the country code, if I try it again, right, then it worked. Okay, now let me do one thing, and that is let me launch my phone. Okay, for some reason I have not received any message to my WhatsApp yet. So I have one WhatsApp account with this number, and for some reason I have not received the WhatsApp. So I'm not sure, maybe something gone wrong. But one thing is for sure, that the Facebook API has confirmed that it has received this WhatsApp message, right? So, but it has not come through to my WhatsApp client. I'm not sure what went wrong there, but so this is how we set up the WhatsApp. And I have got a question, since it's just one small question, so let me quickly take it up. So Piyush Yap says, hey, what are you building? Okay, so hi Piyush, very warm welcome. So today is our automation workshop, right? And in this automation workshop, we build N8N workflows. Okay, so today we are actually building an N8N workflow inside which we are adding a WhatsApp based notification, right? So if I want to explain it to you what's going on here, so this is our N8N workflow, and within this workflow today we have added this WhatsApp node, right? And the job of this WhatsApp node is that once our workflow is completed, we will receive a WhatsApp notification. Okay, so let me try one thing, and I hope that answers the question. If you still have more question, you can use the chat and let me know. Okay, so let me try to add another number of mine here and see if I will receive the message with that. And I'm forgetting my own phone number. Okay, let's execute this step now. And for some reason I'm not getting any WhatsApp message. I don't know. It should have come. Okay, so we are going quickly do a test, right? And the test is that from within the Facebook developer panel itself, we can also send a test message and see if we are receiving that test message or not. Okay, so I'm gonna click on send message. Okay, it says test message successfully sent. Okay, all right, so let me quickly see on my WhatsApp as well. Right, so if you can see my screen here, right, this is my WhatsApp account, right, with the number that I just used. So this message which I received at 10:30 p.m., which is our time right now, right, this is the message which I just received as part of this test message which Facebook has sent, right? But the problem is When I'm sending it from N8N, although the API is giving us like this green success, but it is not, I'm not able to receive this WhatsApp message. So let me check if I can identify what could be wrong here. I know sometimes there are issues with the webhook. Let me see. Let me try adding the callback. Too long. Yes, looks pretty great. Useful to integrate with something like monitoring with Prometheus. Yeah, I mean, you can also monitor your workflow with Prometheus. So yeah, that's also a good idea. WhatsApp Business Cloud credentials. So by the way, if you get stuck at any place while adding your credentials, so N8N has a pretty good documentation for all the nodes and setting up their credentials. Okay, so right now, because as I told you, for some reason, when I'm doing everything right, I'm not able to receive the WhatsApp message, although the API is giving us success. So I'm trying to understand what might be wrong. So for that, I'm going through this N8N credential documentation. Okay. So see, these are the clear instructions which they have given. To configure this credential, you need the access token and business account ID, and they have very clearly explained you what steps you need to follow to get these, right? So as I told you, in WhatsApp, you have to click on API setup. From there, you have to generate an access token, and you can also get your WhatsApp business account ID from the same space, right? Test for more information. So I've tried this integrating WhatsApp multiple times. There are sometimes these kind of issues come that you are not receiving the WhatsApp message, and if I remember correctly, if I recall my memory, that this callback URL, if I can set this callback URL, then that should work. But where is this callback URL? Let me take help from our beloved ChatGPT. Okay, so I've sent a very standard message in a normal language to ChatGPT, and I'm asking I'm trying to integrate WhatsApp node with my N8N workflow. I tested the workflow by executing my WhatsApp node. It is giving success, but I'm not getting the message in my WhatsApp app. How do I resolve this? Okay, so let's see what ChatGPT has to give as a suggestion for this. Yes, the correct template required. You must use pre-approved message template. Oh, so there's the problem. You cannot send random text to a new user unless they have opted in. You must use a pre-approved message template if you're messaging a number for the first time, right? So most likely this message template is a problem. And it says even if the node shows success, check in messages. No, there is no such. So if I can share the response. This is the entire response. I'm pretty sure it's complete success. Okay, so one thing which ChatGPT is telling us very clearly that we did receive API call success, but the message delivery to the WhatsApp itself can fail any point in time downstream. That too, it can happen silently, so we can even not know that it has failed, which is what it has happened just now. Now, how do we handle this kind of scenario? It is very tricky. Now, example, in a production scenario where this does happen, your N8N workflow executed just fine. It sent the request to Meta API, it received a success response, right? You would never be able to identify if the end user has actually received a WhatsApp message or not. So I see there is some sort of a issue here in a development experience with working with Meta API. If something has failed downstream, so there should have been some way to identify that something has gone wrong, which did not happen in this case. Okay. Okay, I think okay, let's try one thing. Okay, so what we need is one more workflow. Okay, so we actually need to set up a webhook in our Meta, right? And after we can execute that webhook, I think then only the Meta will let us send that message. So for that we need to create one more workflow, right? So I'm gonna save this workflow, and it's asking for the rating, which we don't want to give now, and I'm gonna go overview and click on the create workflow again, right? And this is an entirely new workflow that we are creating, and the purpose of this workflow is to work as a webhook. Okay, so what is a webhook? Let me explain to you a little bit before that. So webhook is an endpoint or a URL within your application that can receive any kind of requests, right? And then of course it has to return a success response, so that the app which is sending the request to you should know that you have received that. If you return 400 or 500 these kind of response codes, then that sending party will think that the message has not successfully been received. So that is very important thing. A webhook, for it to function correctly, it need to receive the response and send a receive the request and send a success response. So that is the only thing which we are going to add. And I'm seeing there are a lot of comments coming up here, so please hold. In just 17 minutes or so we're going to have a dedicated Q&A session, and then I'll definitely go through all these chats. I'll pick up the questions over that dedicated Q&A session, and we'll have the discussion at that time, right? So let me finish this workflow in the meanwhile. So let me introduce you to one more trigger along with that. So far we have worked with a few triggers. One is chat message trigger we have worked with, right? Then we worked with a form submission trigger, right? Now today we are going to add one more trigger, which is webhook call trigger. Okay, so let me click on this webhook call, right? Again, let me exit out of it. So if you see, this is one node that we have got in our workflow, and this is a webhook node. Okay, and what is the purpose of this node? So the purpose of this node is to receive request at a particular URL, right? And what is that URL? So let's double click this and open it, right? You see this this has the configuration options for this webhook, and it has these URLs here, right? So it has this test URL, right? And it says the get method. Okay, so that means with HTTP get method, if somebody sends any request to this particular URL, this particular node can respond to that. Okay, and that's what we are going to do now, right? So what we'll do is we'll click on listen for test event, because right now it is not in production, right? I explained to you in my last in my last session that you can move your workflow to production mode by activating it, which is when its form and these webhooks shift to these production URLs, and they keep on listening to it forever, right? Wherever your N8N is running on whichever server, they keep listening to it forever. But when it is not active, then you can temporarily make your nodes listen on these test URLs. Okay, and for that you do is listen for test event, right? So stop listening. Let's do one thing. I'll copy this test event and I'll do a listen for test event. Okay, and then we'll go again back to our this meta dashboard. We'll add this this URL here, and it's asking some verification token. So let's enter any random token, right? And let's say click verify and save. Okay, so one thing which just happened, so we should observe that what just happened. So this output data that you are seeing, are you guys able to see my N8N workflow screen? Okay, because in my recording, I don't know what just happened. Let me quickly fix it. Okay, I think now it should appear. So this output that we are seeing, right? This output has actually come because Facebook, right, has sent a request to our webhook node here, right? Within this node, the Facebook has sent a request, and that request has got captured here. If you see the host, this is our own host, this is our URL, right? So user agent, if you see, it's Facebook platform, right? Coming from developer.facebook.com. So when we try to validate this callback URL, right? So when we click on verify, we have actually received a request from Facebook that, okay, you are asking me to verify this URL. Let me send a request here and let me see what will I receive. Okay. Now the problem is, it has received a success response because we have processed this request, right? But what it is complaining about now is the callback URL or verified token could not be validated. Please verify the provided information. So now the thing is about verified token couldn't be validated. Now if you see, I have entered a random token here, ABCD, right? So somehow this token, this verified token needs to be also validated, right? So let's ask ChatGPT how do we do that. So for that, as per as I understand, within the response data, I think somehow we need to send this token back, right? Then only, so we will so by the way, Facebook has sent this token to us, hub.verify token, right? And somehow we should be able to respond back to token. So let me again take the help from ChatGPT and ask, so guys, I'm doing this step by step, as you might build your own workflow when you'll be setting up your WhatsApp. So these are the things which you need to spend time on, right? These are the things which you'll try to debug, right? And these are the steps that you would need to follow to debug it. Okay. So it says, great, you are 90% there. Now the only issue is verifying the webhook token, which Meta does only once. So when you first configure the webhook, Meta sends a GET request with the verification challenge and your verified token. If your webhook doesn't return the right response, it fails, right? So when Meta sends this, your N8N workflow must respond with only the hub.challenge value as plain text. If the hub.verify token matches the secret token you gave in the Meta developer portal. So here is how we need to fix it. So it is telling that we need to respond back with this hub.verify token. Okay. So let's do one thing. I know the token that I have set up here, right? In the Facebook developer panel. This is ABCD, which I just set it up by myself here, right? So I can just put it the same value here. Okay, it's completely fine, because instead of receiving the token from within the request, if we know what is the token that we have set up, we can just respond back with the same token, right? So let's click listen for the event again, and let's try to verify it again. And it still says it could not verify. Okay, let's again try this test URL. Q&A is gonna happen in just 8 minutes. And the token is ABCT. The string is set up by you when you create a webhook endpoint, right? And it also says ABCT. Respond immediately. Am I missing any? Okay, let's make it raw body. Response code is 200. So these are the configurations that we can set up within our webhook, right? That we are sending raw body, we are sending a code which is 200. Like there are a bunch of codes that we can send, so we are sending 200, right? This is the raw body. And let me see if there is something more. Cause I don't think cause should be any problem, but let's just add cause also. Response header, response code we have already added. Okay, response code. Let's see. Let's listen for test event again and let's try again and let's hope for the best. No. So it is still not able to verify. Status 200, content type text plain. Oh, it says hub.challenge we have to respond. What is this? So give me a minute or so to debug this and let's see how we can get it working. Okay. So I have to respond. I have to respond with the challenge. Okay. Okay. So let's do one thing. We have to add another set node. Yeah, this one. And we will take the result as this, right? And if I execute it, then this is the result. And but this result, how do I get it in plain form? Okay, or I can do the code node, I guess, which ChatGPT was also suggesting. Let's add our code. Okay. Query hub mode. Let's see if this time it will come. Listen for the testing. So Q&A is gonna start in 3 minutes. Respond when the last note finishes. Okay. The code. Let's put it to production. Let's copy its production. Let's go to executions and execution. Okay, error. Yeah. So this is what we got. And our code not failed. Query is not defined, line 2. Okay, so except those. Okay, so let's quickly see how can we use a variable within the code. Okay, our Q&A time has started. So let me quickly pick up the questions. Yes, looks pretty great. Useful to integrate with something like monitoring with Prometheus. Okay. I think you're in building AI agents. I have a doubt. Can you clarify that? Hello, Akhil. Hi, bro. I want to ask a thing. Can you help me with some of my idea which I want to bring in my workflow? Okay, so I don't see any as such questions. They are chatting among themselves, which is even great, right? The community is interacting with itself, and I'm very happy to be sort of a medium, to be a platform where a lot of N8N enthusiasts who want to build N8N workflows are coming together and chatting not just with me but among themselves. But this is live stream, and here I'm sharing live while building the N8N workflows, and you can see me watch me building these workflows live. If you have any questions, doubts, you can ask me, right? So let me just quickly give you a walkthrough that what I'm doing. So basically, so we are building this workflow, which is where we have saved our data within the Gemini Sheets, Google Sheets. And then from there, we are trying to trigger a WhatsApp message to a user that somebody has, submitted the form. So it's a notification with which you will come to know that you have somebody has entered submitted the form, right? And the thing is, for this WhatsApp to work, the notification to work, we need to come and set up an app within our Facebook developer panel, right? Because WhatsApp is under Facebook developer. So within that, I had walked through how to create an app, right? And I've also walked through how to set up your WhatsApp credentials within N8N, okay? And using those credentials, you can also trigger these node to send the message to WhatsApp. But there is a bit of a problem, which is like an undocumented issue, right? Which is, the issue is, although when we send the WhatsApp message from here, and by the way, it has gone ahead and triggered the entire workflow, which I'm not gonna do. I was just trying to test this node, and this has executed the whole flow. So let me stop that, right? So once the message is successfully sent, the API is successfully called from our N8N. But if the message does not reaches to the end user, right, we will never be able to know that, right? And for that, the reason is being told is that you also need to configure. So within your Facebook developer account, not just that you have to set up your WhatsApp app integration, as well as you have to configure a callback URL so that Facebook will verify that it is able to validate this webhook URL, right? So we are basically setting up a webhook for Facebook. Now the thing is, we have also set up the webhook for Facebook. It is able to make the call to our N8N webhook node. We are able to receive that request from the Facebook. But there is one last challenge which I feel is that there is this verify token, where is a bit of a logic that we need to handle, where this verify token need to be validated on our server, okay, on our webhook node. So for that, I had created this new workflow, which is just for the case of handling our Facebook callback, right? Once we receive the callback from Facebook, within that payload, it is sending us a challenge, right? Hub.challenge. So based on if the verification token matches with what we have entered here, right, we have to return to the Facebook that challenge value, right? And this information, how we got this information, we actually got with the help of our very helpful ChatGPT. Okay, so I queried ChatGPT to figure out that I'm sending the WhatsApp, calling the API, it's really giving success, but what's gone wrong? Why I'm not able to receive the WhatsApp in my app, right? So what it told is, I need to make this webhook, right, this callback URL verify from our N8N API server. So that is the process that I'm doing currently. Okay, now if so far, if you have any question, any doubt, what is if you are stuck at any step and you're not able to understand how do you overcome that, you can please ask me the question over the chat here, and I'll try to respond over that. Okay, so let me continue building that. And basically, after the webhook is received, there is this custom code which I'm trying to use to send basically this hub.challenge message as a plain text back to the Facebook server, right? And which is where I'm sort of stuck. So let me do one thing, and let me delete this node. Let me add the node again, just in case. Okay. So let me see what are these special variables and methods. we need the current node input, right? So all the inputs which is coming from or the current node. So all the input items are in $input.all. or $JSON. Okay, so let's comment out this code, and we have got a code from ChatGPT. Okay, and that is the code that I'm trying to use with the intention that I should be able to capture this response that I'm getting from Facebook. Okay, so what I know is $input.all should contain why all? I think first should be fine. So first will itself be a JSON payload, I think. And our verified token is just ABCD. What's see this. The thing is, I cannot work without the actual data. So let me do one thing. Let me trigger this node, and it is an active. So I don't want it active. Listen for the event and send it. Okay. Oh, because I'm sending it to production URL. My URL was wrong there. Okay, change this to this one. Okay, we received again the data from Facebook, which is good. So I'm gonna pin this data here. So basically, you are seeing live how you can debug your N8N, right? So I'm trying to build sort of a response, a custom response for this webhook, and you can see how we can work. So basically, if you see, I have pinned the data that I have received from the Facebook request, right? That way, I don't have to keep on waiting for Facebook to keep sending the request over and over again. I have the data to work for, right? And let me try to drag and drop it here. Okay, this is what I was missing. We needed this $input first JSON query, right? So that will capture our this query object inside it, right? And then within the query object, hub.mode is subscribe, hub.verify token is our token that we have set. If these all conditions are successful, right? Two conditions. So hub.mode is so it's a basic JavaScript logic that we have built here, which is if this hub.mode is set to value subscribe, which is what this code is checking for, which is true, and right? So we have this logic of this and this, right? And this hub.verify token is expected token, which is this ABCD that we have set up within our Facebook verification token input. If it matches, then return this response, right? Okay, so yeah, so let's hope for the best and try this again and see if it will work. Okay. So it's waiting for the trigger event. I'm going to Facebook again, click on verify and save, and again error but everything is looking green. Okay, so we have actually again responded successfully what we were trying to respond, but still Facebook has not validated the token. So the problem is Facebook is not even telling us. So let's do one thing. We have to read through a little bit of documentation of Facebook. And it's not making our life any easier, but we need to find a solution. Okay, let's try one thing, and that is to just respond to this thing in plain token, in plain. So I'm gonna comment this out and just return this. Okay, let's see what we get. Save the workflow, execute it again, come to Facebook, click on verified save, and it will save again. Good. Code doesn't return items properly. Please return an array of objects. One of each item would like to output. Okay. So now N8N is complaining that we needed to return an array. So let's put it into an array and write that. Save, execute workflow, verify, save, and fail again. Okay. So $JSON must be an object. So basically, I think we are sending the right kind of JSON object there, which N8N can send. It's sending content type as plain text, body is simple, status code 200. But still we are not able to verify the Facebook. This is a hook. And though the workflow is right, we are returning the challenge. We are still not able to get C and C++ and DSA count 2% हो गया internship कैसे मिलेगी? Okay, so we have just got a message. So let me just quickly respond it. And he has said it in Hindi. भाई मैं अभी C and C++ and DSA सीख रहा हूँ 50% हो गया internship कैसे मिलेगी? Okay, so Nihal is asking, he has learned C++, and he's learning DSA, and he's quite looking towards to getting an internship, probably so he can start his career. So Nihal, uh, you have to apply for internship, right? You have to look for the openings, excuse me, if there are openings for internships that you can apply to, right? And you have to be like on the LinkedIn and all these platforms, you have to be very active, right? You have to keep checking if there is any internship that you can apply to. By the way, it is just my some inputs that just because you are learning C++, DSA, right, does not prove it that you know these things, right? If you are in the process of learning, how does somebody verify that you have learned it, right? See, this is a kind of a problem which has been happening in the industry for quite some time, and the issue is there are a lot of people who are learning things, right? But the organizations want people who have already learned these things, right? So if you are in the process of learning and you are not able to convince the organizations that you have learned it, right? That means you have gone past the learning and you have finished your learning and you have learned it, right? You would not be a lucrative candidate for them. So how do you show organizations that you have learned something? By building, by working on projects, okay? And within the interview, right, the organization want to hear from you, like you said, C++, DSA, right? You have been learning it is one thing, but what have you done on these things? If you say I have learned C++, what have you built on C++, right? What kind of projects you have worked? Because organizations will be interested to know, on these things. Let's say using C, you have created one networking protocol, right? So that will be of interest to an organization which will be interested in some sort of a networking, right? By networking, I mean the TCP, IP, like these sort of network protocol, right? So if they're already having something to do with these networking related fields, right, then they would be interested in your see, it's about match, right? It's a matchmaking process. So when you are targeting for an internship, if you are targeting for any organization, then you have to do some sort of a research, what that organization does, right? What kind of roles that organization has, especially what kind of clients that organization serves and what projects that organization does, right? And if you are willing to go to that organization, you can match your internship, not internship, sorry, your learning to that organization, right? So that way you would be a more ideal or preferred candidate, right, when you would send your proposal for internship, because our organization will see you are already almost there and they can just pick you up. They will just make you aware about the internal processes, that how the organization functions, how the real projects are done, right? And then it will be easy and cost effective for them to hire you, right, even as an intern. So you have to understand it's all about matchmaking. If you do random things, if you hear someone, he did C++ and he got internship, so you thought, okay, I'll also do C++ and I'll get internship. No, it does not work that way, right? You have to build your own trajectory. You have to follow your own path, right? Now, if you have, I hope it has give you some clarity, and these are basically my thoughts, my shared experiences, right? These are the experiences about which I had also gone through in my earlier stages of career, and which I just shared with you. Okay, if you have any further questions, you can let me know. Okay, okay, so that's why I'm looking for internship, not job. Okay, Bennett. Okay guys, so I'm really head down into this thing, right? Why? Even though Facebook told me that API has succeeded, the WhatsApp Meta API has succeeded, why have I my WhatsApp has not received the message, although it is receiving the test message, right? Number one. Number two, I see I'm almost getting there, that the webhook which Facebook is sending, I'm able to respond, but it is not verifying the token, and there is nowhere any information available. How do I do that? So these are sort of the things that I have to solve. So I'm looking into solving it, and for that, of course, I need to read a lot of documentation. Okay, so it says very clearly, respond with hub.challenge value. Which I think I'm doing just fine. Different. And see, if you're an API developer, I have a huge request. This is what frustrates a developer, right? I'm facing some issue, and the problem is in your documentation or anywhere, I'm not able to find the exact way, the exact process, like how to do it, right? Uh, so how do I do it, right? That's the question. Now for that, I have to spend a lot of my energy into figuring it out, what's going on. Let me take the help of Google. So getting back to our beloved Stack Overflow, header should be, and response should be this. Okay. Let's take help of our ChatGPT. Nihal says, one more thing is my English speaking skills is not good. Is that a problem? Okay. So Nihal, the internship guy. Generally, see, English speaking skills, if you are applying for a company which is in India, is not that much of a huge problem, unless you're gonna be put to some client project which is based on US or UK. But the thing is, you're applying for internship, right? So at the internship level, I don't think, if you have some difficulty in speaking English, Although I would suggest you should definitely work on improving your English, because India is majority English speaking country, and that is like uh, the the positive impact about India is that that's how a lot of MNCs, these global companies, are able to set up their offices very comfortably, because they know they will get the English speaking people here very easily, and they don't need any language training and so on. So they are like almost job ready, at least 30% job ready, just because they can speak English, right? So that is like the advantage of India that it provides as a country. So I would suggest you also try to work on your English. You don't need to be like speaking like a native speaker, right? If you can just express what you are trying to tell confidently and clearly, right? Whatever you're trying to say, you need to be confident about it, right, while saying it, and you need to be clear about it, because you should not get mixed up with the words. If you're trying to say something and you use some different word which has a completely different meaning, so that is gonna cause a problem, right? So you don't have to like do a lot of like accent training or anything in English, right? You just need to speak with confidence and with clarity. If that much you can do, I think that shouldn't be any problem beyond that. Let's add these headers. Status code is 200. Challenge. How to challenge? Everything looks fine. I don't know why it is not working. Let's see. Is the test movement? What did we return? Okay, now we have the cassette. In the Stack Overflow, it mentioned it has added some empty character. Why did we do that? What means it like that? Maybe that makes some difference. Sure. And Facebook is not in a good mood today. There's a challenge. This is correct. Status code is correct. Okay. What might be the problem? N8N. What's book? Okay, we have got some sort of a workflow from our community in N8N. So let's try to use this. So we're gonna have, instead of this code, we're gonna do it this way. We'll add an if condition. If value 1 equals subscribe, just this one. So there are two branches, true and false. So for true, we can use set, and we are setting for property data. So for true, let's do set, and we're setting for property data this thing, and finally we had respond to the book, which just returns back the JSON data. Content. Response code, response error, content type. What headers? No headers. Okay, let's try with without headers first, and I have to make my change. Is that using respond to webhook node? Okay, once it works, I'll definitely gonna explain you what I did, and I really hope it works. Save. And it worked. I think it did. Did or not? I think it did. But why can't I see? Oh, great. So I can see my webhook callback URL set up here. Okay. That means Facebook has verified our webhook server. We can see within the execution, it was a text execution, it was the latest one. And in the respond to webhook, we saw this kind of a response, which we have sent back to Facebook. And, this is the response that we have sent to Facebook. I don't know why. I think the headers are not there. Maybe I don't know. I don't know why it was not working earlier, but it's working now, so that's great. So we have got our webhook working. So we're gonna, okay, let me rename this workflow to call it meta webhook. Okay, and I'm going to go back to my WhatsApp trigger. And why did you do that? It says check my credentials. Okay, the token actually expires, so I'm gonna go to API setup and generate a new configuration token. I'm sorry, access token. Copy it. paste it here, save it, works, close it. It's working. Yeah, my test number, the number that I want to send to, and execute again. So, for some reason the saved data is not working here. So let's do one thing. Let me run the entire workflow again. No harm. Let's see if we can get our WhatsApp trigger working. Our first name, email, just I have submit. All these worked. Facebook Business Cloud worked. My WhatsApp hasn't worked. I received the notification. No. Why I have not still received the notification? Okay, I think this guy need to be in production because Facebook has to send it. One thing, set to production, copy the URL, get active, locate, go to Facebook, go to configuration. One more thing is my English is okay. Sir, आप remote work पे हो क्या and in which company and on what role? Okay, so very interesting questions. Verify token. Let me again change that to. It seems to be working. So this production thing has worked. No, so Nihal, I'm not working for any company remotely. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm building apps, right? And I'm like selling apps, making money that way. I had almost 10 to 12 years of my career journey, right? Recently, I was a CTO of an accounting tech in UK. After I, after I just thought, okay, let me just go build my own business, be an entrepreneur, right? So that's what I'm doing right now, and I'm happy to share all the journey of a developer, and especially when we have like these new things coming out, like AI agents that we can build through N8N, and also do vibe coding using AI, build apps, and it is so easy now to do it. So I'm very, very happy to share it with the large part of the community, right? And I hope you are actually not just watching it. This is not an entertainment. This is for you to follow it, right? This is for you to watch it and do it along with me, right? I'm doing it live with you, okay? So you open your laptop, do the exact same thing that I'm doing, right? It is for that. And that's why it is between this 10 to 12. So everybody is almost free during this time, and I call my vibe coding as moonlighting session between 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. So if you are working in a job, you can still do these 2 hours of moonlighting with me, right? Build apps, create AI agents, automation workflows on N8N. Find clients for it, sell it to your clients, or build it for yourself to automate your marketing, right? So this is all about, right? Can I automate is better than can AI automation is better than WBE Android development? Okay, INK says, do you remember me? Yes, INK, I remember you. You came, I think, last week. Uh, sorry, but I know you came in one of my stream, but I sorry don't remember exactly which one. But yeah, I do remember you. So, and thank you for joining back. Okay, can AI automation is better than web Android development, or do I as a side skill? It depends. So it depends if you are already a coder. So I'm answering you, Abdullah Imran. If you are already a coder, you know coding already, you know how to build apps like backend, front end, everything. Then yes, N8N could be a side thing because it's something new that you are learning and you need some time to gear up, right? But if you're not a coder and if you're like entering into both things, so I would say you do both things for some time and you have to pick any one and you have to see which one is which thing is built for you, right? Some people are more comfortable with, so by the way, this N8N gives you this no code or low code kind of a environment, right? And vibe coding, even with vibe coding, you have to still at least look through a lot of code on a very regular basis. You have to have habit of reading all the code. You have to have the habit of debugging the code, adding the log statements, finding the execution path of your code and everything. So it is up to you. Do you like this more visual low code no code environment of N8N, or are you comfortable with like walls of code in front of you, all these files, how they work together, how they like join up together, how the work how the app actually runs under the hood, right? For example, in my Flutter app, I was debugging the cloud function. So if you're interested in those things, you have to figure out, right? You have to test both things and see which one you like the most. Okay. Okay, Anke says, I'm trying to create a video generator. Great, great. All the very best, Anke. I really, really hope you do get succeed in creating your video generator. And, I'll be very, very happy if one day you'll come to our community in this chat, you'll share your link that you have created and deployed somewhere. And we all will be happy to, see it, how it looks. And all the very best for your video generator app. Okay. So let me try to focus on this thing, which I don't know what's wrong here. So I responded with this. It works fine. Webhook is validated. I'm going to Gemini Flash again. Execute my workflow. Enter my name. Enter my email. Enter a message. Submit. Wait for workflow to finish. It finished. Did I receive the WhatsApp message? No. Why is that? Where are the logs? Where are the logs? Did we see, did it send any webhook call for this? No, there's just a validation. There's no additional webhook call. It's fine. quite stuck here. Try within this. Just recently I created a social media manager workflow for LinkedIn. Okay. Okay, finally we got some error. So I'm giving it all of I can, right, till 12, which is the time of our this uh, live stream to end, right? And I hope I will be able to achieve success within that time. By the way, if you see on the N8N itself, everything is working flawlessly, everything is green, there is no failure. The only thing is I'm not receiving the WhatsApp message within my own WhatsApp app, right, on my phone, on my device, and that is causing me this anxiety. Why it is not happening? It is supposed to happen, and that's what I'm trying to solve for. Oh, and I think I'm really sleepy now because I'm doing silly mistakes. So Abdullah says he has created a social media manager workflow for LinkedIn. Great, Abdullah. And why don't you create a YouTube video explaining how did you build that? That will be very, very helpful for a lot of people who are trying to learn this thing and who are trying to build it. By the way, it's just a question. So I tried building a LinkedIn workflow too, and the LinkedIn API is quite strict, right? You don't get the access to the LinkedIn API. So I'm curious if over the chat you can explain me like how have you built like specifically the LinkedIn API part, like how did you got access to the LinkedIn API, because they don't give it to individual developers like me. They give it to like big organizations. So I'll be curious how you got access to the LinkedIn API for your workflow. I think it has something to do with the template. So where do I set this template? So I'm trying my last stint, which is maybe the template that the WhatsApp message should be sent with, right? That configuration is causing the issue. So I'm taking the help from ChatGPT to know how I can do that. Excuse me. Business Manager WhatsApp message templates. Okay. This is right. These are the message templates, and let's try creating a template. Yeah. So they have some pre-utility templates. That means that we have to format our message within this kind of a template. But what we are trying to do is we are trying to notify user if somebody submits their form that in Google Gemini, that in their Google Sheet, the form values has been recorded. And it seems that we cannot do it without adding a custom template because I don't see, do we get form submission related? If we can process your order. So it does not have, I think, the customer feedback survey. So there's a limitation that we cannot create our own kind of a message in whatever structure that we want to be sent via the N8N workflow, right? So there is this limitation where we have to probably create a new template and that get it verified. Once it is approved, we have to submit it. Once only it is approved, we can do it. So that is quite a bit of limitation. Let's see the process once. Enter the template name. Okay, so this is the name of the template. Type of variable, name, no media, header. Hello. So here we don't need variable because we know to whom we are sending. So we don't need to create a variable. We just can say hello. But yes, one variable will need, that is for name, has submitted your form. Let me see what was the message. Has submitted question for Gemini, right? Has submitted his question for Gemini. Okay, let's say a question for Gemini because I don't want to get into that gender wars. His or her has submitted a question for Gemini. Okay, so we got this, and let's say the user, yeah, sample buttons. No, we don't need a button, and submit for review. And this is already 12 a.m. the time for our stream to get finished, but you see we have actually added a template which has went for review, right, showing the status as in review. So until this template has been approved, unfortunately from N8N, right, we would not be able to send the message what we want. And by the way, I have to, I think, remove this part and only keep this one. Probably keep it like this. So it has to match the template, right? So once our template gets approved here, right, which is in review right now, once it gets approved, we can use this template to send the message from our N8N workflow in the way we want. Otherwise, we have some pre-approved templates that we have to use, but it will not match with our use case here. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this automation workshop of building N8N workflow, and I'll quickly give you a review what we did. We had just worked on this one node today in our entire 2 hour of automation workshop, which is this WhatsApp trigger. Okay, so the idea is once somebody submits their Google Sheet, once somebody submits the form and we save their details in Google Sheet, including the Gemini response, we want to receive a WhatsApp notification. Okay, so the process to do that is quite straightforward. We add the node, we add our WhatsApp credential, we use our phone number that is pre-verified within the Facebook business account, and we set the recipient's phone number. Now if you're in development mode, this recipient phone number also you should have to validate first, again from your Facebook business account, and then we can send our message. The problem is the message has to match to a certain template that needs to be approved, and that's what we have sent for approval, which is in review right now, right, from our Facebook Business Manager platform. Okay, so this is entire workflow. In between, we have also validated our webhook. So we have also created another workflow, which is this one. This one we have built just so that Meta or Facebook can send us a webhook call and validate our webhook URL, which it was needed for for WhatsApp trigger to work. Okay, but still our WhatsApp triggers has not fully worked yet, because although it is running successfully, I'm not able to receive the WhatsApp message in my phone. Okay, but we have to leave this workflow at this for now, and next time in our automation workshop, we're again gonna first check the status of this template, if it has been approved or not, right? If it is not approved, then we cannot do anything, we have to still wait. If it is approved, we can try sending the template. Otherwise, or not otherwise, and I'm gonna also use WhatsApp as a trigger. So I'll quickly show you what I mean by that. If I create a new workflow and I select a trigger, right? So there are trigger of app events, which is again in WhatsApp, and here it's a trigger, right? And the trigger is, let's say, on message. So let's so we can, like, same way, we have to add the credentials again for WhatsApp OAuth layer, right? Once we do that, when somebody sends us, right, WhatsApp message, okay, from their WhatsApp they send the message, we will receive the trigger, right? Our N8N workflow can kick off just by someone sending the WhatsApp message to us, right, to particular number that we own on our WhatsApp. So this is what we are gonna work on our next automation workshop with WhatsApp trigger this time. Okay, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and you guys have got a lot of answers for your question that you asked me over the chat. So many people ask me like so many things over the chat, and today for the first time I saw people were talking and communicating among themselves within the chat. It feels very nice that I am sort of I'm able to provide a platform. I'm able to be a medium where other people are coming and connecting with each other. It's a really great feeling to have, and I'm very thankful for my community for letting me have that kind of feeling. And with that, I'm gonna end this session, and bye bye, take care, good night, have a great next day ahead, and wait for my tomorrow's vibe coding session. Okay, bye bye, good night.